Number one lesson, don't do the school run 10 minutes before the concrete lorry. Morning all, welcome back to the big barn build. Huge update today. Hopefully by the end of today, we'll have an even bigger update. So yesterday, a couple of guys came and netted the whole roof. That is so that all the roofing can happen from above and no one's gonna fall. It's like a gladiator set in here. But anyway, so that's what the netting is for. And today, a few days late, but today another scaffolding company is coming to put the scaffolding up around the outside. I spent yesterday kind of sketching, drawing and working out all of our levels. Everything is now written on the steel. It's been around with a laser. We think we're sorted. Now Tom is on rodding.
Yeah, don't fall in these holes now.
No. So we have got 12mm rebar, which is being resin fixed into the footings, and where we're beefing up the post footing here and here for the mezzanine, we've put them around there as well. We just basically need 100mm of concrete cover around them, protected from the external environment. So normally in a pattern of 4 on the spec. But here, where we've got a bit of an abnormal shape, we've kind of a bit of a hedgehog going on there. But what that's going to do is just knit new concrete to old. Everything's been brushed off. It's all looking good. So the plan of action for today, regardless of scaffolders and anything like that, is we have 2 lorry loads coming. So that's 2 lots of 6 cube, which, according to our calculations, is enough to pour the internal footings that we've dug out, minus that pool corner, and also the external footing all the way along that east wall, and I think the front quarter. We're going to remove some of the fencing in a minute, remove some of the other machines. Right, second scaffold lorry's here. We're just making up a little staff bracey thing. Laser's ready. We're going to mark on there the preset heights. We're just going to get a few more tools and then we're 20 minutes off concrete. Oh, they're going to catch. Right, we've got our datum laser on there. And we've got 10 minutes. 10 minutes to get prepared, work out what we're doing. This is the top of the concrete. This is where our laser is going to be. But we've got 3 different depth trenches. Are we doing this right? So basically,
yeah, you just measure from the bottom.
Yeah, right. So this is a 910.
A 910.
So what, we want to hook our tape on there? Bottom, don't we?
On the bottom. Oh.
And then wait for a laser to hit the... Oh, hang on, we need the receiver. Oh, we just mark it on there.
You can just measure 910
to the laser
from there.
Oh, I see, and then put the... Yeah. And just...
That's right, isn't it? Simple.
So what were our 3 things? 910?
910, 685.
It's that... Oh, that's handy. It's that little mark. See that point?
Oh, that's pretty nifty, that.
Close enough. Right, we're going to start this then. Oh, it picks up on the side. How's it doing that?
My mirror I'm holding.
Oh, I'll tell you what, it's probably bouncing off. Who knows? Well, we didn't film the process, but what we were doing is a 14mm hole. We had this little blower. You just puff out, it's a bit like using a compressor, but just easy enough to walk around. It's like puff out all the holes, which cleans them out ready. That's the stuff I picked up. Rule plug, R-chem, and then you get the spiral nozzles. And I picked up an extra pack of 10 of these just in case any clog in between holes or something like that and they go off. You get 2 with each anyway. But so far we've only used 2 tubes, just over 2 tubes, and we've done everything we needed for today. Now we've just had a call to say that there was a power cut at the plant mixing the concrete. So they're half an hour off still. But we've gone around, tied it up a bit. I'm not sure if I showed you yesterday, but this is our little kind of makeshift conduit. So instead of like doing a lintel or shuttering or anything, we had these big heavy duty concrete pipes that we dug up from down here. So we've sat one in here, stuffed the end with some plastic bags. Our concrete should come up to about here, so it will spill in a bit. And that means that we can dig down and thread our water pipe and anything else we need to through there. We've also got the electrical conduit up that end and a spare conduit, so I think we're good over that side. Right, first lorry's here. A little bit nervous, but I think it's not like doing a slab. At least we've got small sections. I've washed this out and got it wet, so I'm hoping nothing's going to stick. We'll have to make sure we clean it out nicely. Much moving around. Is your shuttering going to hold this being that wet? Number one lesson, don't do the school run 10 minutes before the concrete lorry. What is this one? I'd say it's better to have too much than not enough, but it means you've got to dig it out again. Right, Tom's on the next load. It's getting quicker. Yeah, that's it. Right, that was moderately stressful, but we're coping. So we've got, out of our second batch, got half a dumper load left, which is just going to sit in there and pause. We think we're pretty close over here. Stupidly, we couldn't avoid it. They had a power cut at the plant. This lorry turned up 3 hours late, and then we had 2 lorries of deliveries trying to get in at the same time. So I left Tom trying to unload, so he just kind of put a dumper in each trench and made a start. But as you can see, we're kind of humped in the middle, so we know we're within 30 mil or so along the whole lot, but there's a fair bit of shifting along the trench. If we need to top up, we'll use the dumper. If we need to scoop out, we'll use the digger. That one over there is pretty good. And then we've got the 2 footings, which we think we can squeeze out of this batch. So we threw the last load in there, but that's about 400 mil deeper than needed. So the extra that's in there and that, we'll definitely do that post footing, which just happens to be underneath that cherry picker, which I have no key for. But anyway, we'll hopefully get something in there. This morning's lot's all good, but now we just need to shift. So I think someone needs to come out of there.
Yeah, load.
Yeah, I know. All right.
That's my fault, I was too keen. It's weird, you can't tell can you, when you're in a dumper, you kind of...
Okay, so if we...
Unless you step up now, we don't want to step up.
Get a digger out. And I'll dig it into the dumper.
Yeah?
Should we leave that? Should we get the ones that are really close first?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, need to come out a little bit. Yeah, we'll just ignore this stuff because it's only going to mix in. Yeah. Is it meant to go over there?
Okay, yeah, I think it was about there-ish.
Yeah, nice. No, don't do that.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. About right.
About right.
With our expert eye. We pulled out the excess of this one. That's now set. That's like 500mm thick by me. I mean, that's half a cube of concrete. This should be the same. Might just have to wash out the cherry picker. Wow. I think we've learned a lot. So we've got two completely different batches, which is not ideal. First batch, like I said earlier, was I don't know what happened, but the plant shut down. There was a big power cut. I'm guessing they had to manually add the water or something, but it came far too wet. That said, we're okay with it because I mean, I probably could have refused it, I guess. I mean, it's gone firm. I imagine it's going to shrink a bit and it won't be as strong as what it should be, but we used it up on all the internal walls, just stud work, so it's not the end of the world. But then the mix that came this afternoon, which was 3 hours late because of all the hiccups I had during the day, is now was a much better mix. A bit harder to work. The other stuff was like self-leveling. But anyway, this is all in now, so we've got all the way along, and the step worked well, all the way on the same height. So that's allowing for 2 courses and a brick height, and steps down by 1 brick here. Sorry, 1 block here. But that's nice and tidy now. I might just run a trowel over it just to smooth it out. That's fine. We end up with enough to get half a cube pad in here, which is colossal really for what we need. In there and in there. Need to wash that spade. We've got another load in around here. That was just extending that footing again. Same sort of deal. It's just because there's a bit more load on that steel. It was already pretty beefy down there anyway. First pour this morning was this one over here, and again that's much deeper than it looks because we had to dig deeper this end, but that was the looser mix, but it's got in around the steel, so it was easier, much easier. The benefit of having the 2 bigger lorries today meant we gained 3 cubic meters of concrete, because they're normally 6 meter lorries. That was a 7.5 twice. So that's, yeah, an extra 3. So we've now got a nice trench filled all the way along the front. So that's a quarter of the front. We've obviously left the middle because we need our bridge. That'll be the last pour, and we might even do that straight out the lorry, although the dumper works great. And then we got this one here, which was on rock. So this is where it was a little bit shallow at that end, but rather than putting a step in, we just poured it all the way. So it's extra thick here. It's 5:45. I've got 4 kids clubs on tonight, and I've got Joe out the country. Yeah, it was meant to be both of us. Anyway, she's gone with her sister, which is great for her, but that's left me with the farm, the building, and the girls. So I'm like, I can do this, I can do this. It's only Tuesday, guys, it's only Tuesday. Semi-broken man. But I think we got on top of the concrete so much that I'm tempted to get a Friday delivery of 7.5 and go solo, do it on my own, because it would be an easy pour. We've got this side ready now. While we were waiting for the lorry, we actually just put some boards in. They look a little bit delicate, but they're actually braced really tight against these block footings. So we've basically got and the top of that board is exactly where we want the concrete to finish. So we'd get that footing in, or I would, and then it steps up one block. So that wood is 215 or 225 higher than that one. So we get that footing all the way in. It's about 400 deep, maybe a bit more. And then it steps up another block, hence why there's a block there. And the rest of it is at that coursing. So could it be done? I think I could do that. What I can do now though is I can total up all the depth and the volume and see if I can get all this done myself. I'll have to get some resin fixed studs in here. We've got some spare, so we should be able to get 4 on each side. Probably madness. I think Tom is doing some shelving or something nearby, so I could call on them if it all went pear-shaped. The floor level, sorry, just check. Rainbows is finishing in a minute. Don't make me late. Floor level here. No, it's not. That's 65mm above floor level. So therefore, we've still got a block. I think this one's a 1 block and a thermo block, maybe a 2 block coming up to there. So there's still a significant build up to get done. I need to allow, there's drains running through here, so I need to make sure we can tuck them through the wall. And in the background of all that, scaffolding was going on. Now scaffolding is going on so that they can get this roof off tomorrow. But the guys turned up, quite a trek actually. They come up from the south because that's where Jamie the roof is from, and he sent up a team that he knew. It was all a bit last minute. So they came and they didn't have enough to do what they needed to do. So they've got one left over here, all the way down now with handrails. They've obviously got a rail off the end gables, but because the asbestos is coming off tomorrow morning, they needed to get to a point where it was safe and ready to do at least one section. Then they're going to come back up the scaffolders tomorrow and sort out the other area. Of course, the challenge for them was, because this window of time came available for them to get the roof off, we said, yeah, that's fine, but this is the situation. We're doing the concrete this week. Can you set the scaffolding off? They said yes. Scaffolders turned up. They were like, oh, can we do it? Can we do it? They did do it. So they've had to obviously set it quite far away, probably a metre. In reality though, if we'd already done our concrete footings, they would have wanted to go straight down onto those, but that would have meant between now and getting the new roof back on, we couldn't have done any block work. So this has actually forced them to be out and not interrupt what we need to do, because the roof is a 2-week lead. We've not even decided on the colour yet. If well, we might have by the time this video goes out. Black is kind of what we were going to go for, because we want that for the glazing and we think it works better with red brick, but it might be a bit big to be black. However, I'm not the world's biggest fan of anthracite. It's a little bit vanilla, so I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. I think Joe's veering for black. We then got the Velux to go into it, and then we've also got the timber cladding, solar panels. It will break it up a little bit. New scaffold boards. Look at that. They knew they were going to be short, so they actually bought all new gear to come and do this job, I think. Well, not just for our sake, but so there's a few more boards than they were expecting to use, I imagine. But it's done. Might even be quite useful for us when we're swapping out the purlins now. Any comments on whatever just happened? It's all a bit of a blur. Let me know. What would you have done differently? The sort of question that no YouTuber should ask, but there we go. I think the dumper, I tell you what, getting that lorry up there and going into the dumper was the biggest win of the day, because I'm not even sure it would have been able to shoot into that dumper. It's actually higher than Humpty Dumpty. Middle of last night, or I was milking down there in the parlour. The girls were in the cabin. We had our radios on, and there was an almighty bang and hiss, like a big bang. Same tyre, third time. Don't know what, we pulled it out of the way yesterday for the netters, so I don't know if it went over something or whether the puncture repair that had been done suddenly blew. but that made a big bang. So now he's got not really a working engine and he's limping, and I'm not quite sure what the future holds for Humpty Dumpty, but I'll leave it there. The sun's finally out. Thanks for watching, everyone. Remember, if you can, do it yourself, and we'll see you next time.